Okay, good morning everyone. Okay, hello students. Let's discuss what is plant reproduction. Okay, but first let us have the learning objectives. First, identify and describe the different methods of plant reproduction. Second, understand the purpose and processes of both sexual and asexual reproduction in plants. Lastly, analyze the advantages and disadvantages of sexual and asexual reproduction in plants. But first, let us have an introduction. Let us define what is reproduction. When we say reproduction, this is the process of producing offspring, meaning to produce again in which new individuals are generated. If we don't have reproduction and if the organism doesn't have the capabilities to reproduce, ang mangyayari is magkakaroon tayo ng extinction in a particular species or organism. So reproduction is very important. Okay, let's discuss what is sexual reproduction. So we have two types of reproduction in plants. We have the sexual and asexual reproduction. Let us start with the sexual reproduction. When we say sexual reproduction, requires genetic material from two parents, meaning we need the fusion of the male and female gametes. So if this genetic material from the male and female gametes combines, it produces a new offspring, which we call the process of fertilization. So the product of the sexual reproductions is or are the seeds. So when we say sexual reproduction, we need the fusion of the male and female gametes. So we have different types of or different parts of a plant. I know you are very familiar with this. We have the roots, the stem, the leaves, the flower, and the roots. But let's discuss the internal part of the plants. The internal part of the plants, we have the pistil. Under the pistil, we have the stigma, the style, and the ovary. And we have the stamen. Under the stamen, we have the anther, the pollen, and the filament. Okay, let's discuss one by one. When we say pistil, this is the female sex organ of a plant. When we say stigma or the ovary first, we say ovary, this is where the eggs or ovules are located. When we say stigma, this is the topmost part of a flower and the style. This is the long tube which connects the stigma to the ovary, meaning yung pollen na galing sa male gametes or male plants will receive by the stigma, then dadaan siya sa style going to the ovary. Meaning style is the pathway of or from the stigma to the ovary. Okay, let's discuss the stamen. When we say stamen, it's the male sex organ of a plant. When we say anther, this is where the pollen is located. This is part of the plant or the stamen where or that contains pollen. When we say filament, it's the support for the anther, and the pollen, this is the male gametes. Well, the sepal, this is the protection of the flower before it opens. Okay? Okay, let's discuss what is pollination. When we say pollination, this is the process of transferring pollen grains from the anther, which is part of the male flower, and the stigma, which is part of the female flower. When the pollen transfer from the anther to the stigma, we call that process apollination. Okay, wag ma-confuse ha. Sa stamen, this is the male part of a flower, and then say the pistil, This is the female part of a flower. So, meaning, yung pollen na galing sa male part or male flower, ito, matatransfer siya sa stigma, which is the female part of the flower. We call that process a pollination. So, paano ba matatransfer yung pollen grains from the anther going to the stigma? Because we have the pollinator. Because of this pollinator, the pollen grains from the male part of a flower or from the anther, matatransfer siya because of this pollinator or the bees going to the stigma. The stigma, i-receive niya yung pollen na galing sa pollinator, then the pollen will transfer to the ovary. So, dito sa ovary, dito po mag-meet yung pollen and the ovule. Kapag nag-fuse na yung ovule and the pollen, dun na, the reproduction begins. Ano pa? Okay, so we have two types of pollination, the self-pollination and the cross-pollination. Okay, when we say self-pollination, this is where the pollen transfer takes place between the anther and the stigma, but of the same flower. Meaning, even though iisa lang yung flower na nag-exist, pollination will occur pa din. We call that process self-pollination. Meaning, we have the stigma and the anther in just the same flower, in one flower. So, the pollen transfer between the anther and the stigma of the same flower. Yung pollen, matatransfer siya from the anther going to the stigma, but iisang flower lang yung nag-exist. So, we call that process a self-pollination. Okay, under the self-pollination, we have the autogamy and carcinogamy. When I say autogamy, kapag yung pollen grain na transfer from the anther to the stigma within the same flower, we call that autogamy. Meaning, isang flower lang pwedeng mag-transfer yung pollen grain going to the stigma. While the gatonogamy naman, yung transfer ng pollen grains from the anther going to the stigma is from the another flowers but with the same plants. Huwag mo confuse namin sa autogamy, yung pag-transfer ng pollen grain from the anther to the stigma is within the same flower, while gatonogamy, yung pag-transfer ng pollen grains from the anther to go into the stigma is from the another flowers, meaning isang flower, mag-transfer siya ng pollen going to the other flowers, but with the same variety of plants. Okay. Let's discuss naman the cross-pollination. When we say cross-pollination, this is where the pollen transfer takes place between the anther and the stigma of different flowers, but of this different flowers of the same plant or different plant of the same species. Meaning, pwedeng mangyari ring cross-pollination with a different flower pero the same or the same plant. Sa iisang plant na may dalawang flowers, cross-pollination ang tawag natin doon pag yung pollen grain na transfer going to the stigma but with the same plant. Pwede namang mangyari yung cross-pollination with the different plants but with the same variety or the same species. Meaning, kapag may dalawang rows na nag-exist, yung dalawang rows na yun sa different plant, kapag nag-transfer yung pollen grain from the anther going to the stigma of the another variety of plants or the same rows, reproduction occurs or pollination occurs. Okay, we have here the term fertilization. Say fertilization, if the pollen gets transferred to the stigma of the male gametes from the pollen grains release, if the male gametes release a pollen grains and kapag nag-fuse yun with the egg in the ovule, it will form a zygote. We call that process the fusion of the gametes. We call that process fertilization. If the zygote formed, develops, or matured, it will divide and it will turn into an embryo. And this embryo, later on, magiging siyang seed, and yung seed, magiging siya or madidevelop siya into a fruit. Okay. Yung fertilization na nangyayari sa plants is almost the same sa fertilization na nangyayari sa humans. Kapag nag-fuse yung male and female gametes, magkakaroon ng zygote. From the zygote, kapag nag-mature ng zygote and na-develop, it will turn into an embryo, and those embryo will turn into a baby. Sa plants naman, it will turn into or develop into a fruit. Okay, let's discuss now the asexual reproduction. When we say asexual reproduction, so this method does not require the investment required to produce a flower, meaning the same sa animal reproduction, sa asexual reproduction, we don't need the fusion of the gametes, meaning kaya yung napoproduce na offspring is genetically identical. Why? Because there is no need of mixing a male and female gametes. Yung asexual reproduction, pwede siyang mangyari even single organism, pwedeng magkaroon ng reproduction because it does not require the fusion of the male and female gametes. So we have four types of asexual reproduction: the budding, the vegetative propagation, fragmentation, and the spore formation. Okay, when we say budding, this is a type of asexual reproduction in which a new individual develops from some generative anatomical point of the parent organism. Meaning, just like this potato, so budding is very common sa mga root crops, like a potato, like a carrot, the garlic, the onion. Yeah. So let's say we have here a potato. So this potato, kapag nag-bud yan, kapag nagkaroon yan ng bud or the species bud, kapag nagkaroon yan ng bud, this bud will mature, and kapag nag-mature na yan and develop na, it will turn to another potato. So meaning hanggang meron dyan na nagbabud sa potato, pwede yan makapag-reproduce into another offspring or another potato. But in many cases, budding is restricted to specialized area. So kung mapapansin nyo, kapag tinanggal natin yung mga eyes na yan, those eyes, this is very important kasi dito tumutubo yung bud. Meaning kapag tinanggal na natin to, wala nang bud na tutubo. So budding is restricted to specialized areas. Pero kapag hindi pa natin yung tinatanggal at may tumubo dyan, so these buds, pwede siyang ma-develop into another organism or another potato. Okay, next we have the vegetative propagation. When we say vegetative propagation, this is this is not need seeds or spores. Instead, offspring grow directly from the parent plant. Meaning, let's say this part of the plant of the parent plant reaches the ground. Okay, those shoot held below the soil. So, pupunta siya below the soil. And this part na to, tutubo siya into, magtutubo yan and magkakaroon niya ng roots and mapo-form yung new plant. So, that's vegetative propagation. Kahit hindi mo siya dyan tanggalin yung part ng parent plant, basta ma-reach niya yung soil or the ground, this part of the plant will turn into another plant or it will form a new plant. So that's a vegetative propagation. Next, we have a fragmentation. Okay, this one naman, this is the type of a sexual reproduction ng plant in which a new plant takes birth from a portion of the parent plant. So this is very common sa sugarcane and the malunggay tree. So, sa sugarcane, kapag tinanggal natin yung part ng parent plant o we cut a short portion of the parent plant, okay, pag nilagay natin yan sa soil or sa water, those cut portion na galing sa parent plant will um, will turn into another or will grow into a new plant. It will begins to grow into a new plant. So that is fragmentation. Kapag nag-cut tayo ng portion sa parent plant, inilagay natin yan sa soil and or sa water, those small part of the plant falls up onto the soil and begins to grow up and doon na magkakaroon or magre-reproduce na into a new plant. Okay, lastly, we have the spore formation. When we say spore formation, okay, this is very common sa mga moss and ferns. But spore formation is very this is not common to not common when it comes to sexual reproduction in plants because um it is need high temperature and low humidity para makapag-generate or makapag-germinate ng sperm yung parent na. Kaya nga yung moss and ferns, this is exposed to a high temperature and low humidity. That's why pwede siyang makapag-germinate or generate ng spore and it will grow into a new plant. Kapag nakapag-germinate na yan ng spore, those spores, pwede nila yung gamitin para makapag-reproduce into another species or another offspring. So, that is the plant reproduction. So, spore formation, this is the last type of asexual reproduction, and um, the this is the this is the last discussion for the plant reproduction. So thank you very much for your cooperation and for listening. So goodbye, students.